Hi guys, welcome to our presentation. This is our second presentation for Sprint 2, and uh, we will talk about group activities and issue during Sprint 2, the front-end development, back-end development, technology stack B, that's for plan B, and the rest of the technologies, and security. So first, let's talk about the group activities and issues during Sprint 2.
This is Ashika narrating you about group activities and group issues that we faced in our second meeting, which is Sprint 2. We are 5 members working on this project in our group. We had several group issues and several group activities in our Sprint 2 to be discussed. In our second sprint, we had particular timings for meetings, and some of us were not able to attend the meetings due to some time clashes, due to which we had some time zone issues. We also did research in proper technologies which helped us in gaining knowledge on the project. We also worked how to improve and develop our skills to finish the prototype. In our activities, each of us developed some codes, and in order to make them available to others and to help them in understanding the code, we shared them in our GitHubs and made it available to others so they can study and understand our codes. We also used Teams to conduct our group meetings. We helped each other in front end and back end, share and shared each of our views and made it applicable in our project.
The front-end development part was completed by me and Yang. I'm taking for UI design, and Yang is taking the layout of the main page. The web portal that enables the user to select the make and model of their vehicle to see if it has been affected by any record of no issues. The first web page has a form to select the make and model of the vehicle and see the result of found issue and records. And another page has a secure registration portal for user to create an account and register their cars. The last web page can automatically set a notification to user when a new record or issue has been added to the database that affects their cars. We use many technology to create a web page for the frontend. For example, we use HTML5 to develop the content, JavaScript to create an uh, interreadable journal design, and a complete feature on the web page, CSS to control the layout of multiple web pages. We use HTML5 to create the structure section, paragraphs, heading, links, and the block code for web page and applications. When working with HTML, we use simple code structure to make up a web page. We use JavaScript to implement complete feature on the web page. It enables us to create dynamically updating content, control multimedia, animate image, and pretty much everything else. JavaScript is the most common scripting language used in the web development as it provides a great performance scalability, and versatility. We use CSS3 to control the layout of web page, while HTML deal with the actual content for better performance and earlier maintenance. A separate CSS file is preferred over embedded CSS. If font, text size, or change in the appearance of any element should be made later. Simply accessing a separate CSS file is much easier than having to go through extensive line of code in an HTML file. CSS saves us a lot of work. It can control the layout of multiple web pages all at one time. With CSS web design, we can adjust the layout of web page. We're not having to define the appearance for every single element, table, or block of text in the HTML file itself. CSS 3 is a great form of web development.
Sean and me, we completed the front-end development part of this task together. Sean is taking for UI design, and I'm taking to the layout of the main page. Before we made this web page, we had many online meetings. First, we had to determine what kind of web page we are going to make, who the target user is, and the function in the web page. Before the development, we determined that we will use HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS3. There are many advantages of using these languages. For example, the compatibility of the HTML5 is more extensive, and many tags have been added to facilitate the use of the developers. The statement file is shorter, which can make the code interface cleaner. HTML5 can write off Flash and use own text to play audio and video. At the end of 2020 year, Google Chrome will stop using Flash, so HTML5 have very big advantage in the future. And the biggest feature of HTML5 is the stronger cross-platform ability. In our web page, when a user visits our web page, the new user will be required to register. When the user clicks the register button, the data will save in our backend server. After logging to the home page, user can see the news about the vehicle industry and information about the vehicle brands they want to inquiry. After user enters his license plate, he can query all conditions of his vehicle and the brand's recall issues. If there are news or car recall issues, the backend service will send a message to the user, allowing the car owner to get the latest news in the fastest way.
In the back-end development, we used SQL and MySQL database. As you can see here in the picture, this is as free sample and open source sample for the car models used in the US. So this is so it's like the car types, whence the car is recalled and stuff like that. So this is an example for the database, and we use GSP and MySQL to manage the database from the client, and we choose SQL servers to manage that data, and mainly because SQL Server have a graphical interface which make it user-friendly and have a scalability for a big organization as well. And moreover, we have the data warehouse functionality for decision support, integration with many other server software, because the huge support for MySQL and SQL in general. Then we have a good cost for performance, mainly because MySQL is a free open source language. So yeah, and then on top of that, MySQL is really popular, and we have a really good online resources and community support for it. And then we will talk about technologies stack Plan B. Plan B consists of Python as the front-end development, because it can generate all the functionality of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript without any problems. Then in the back-end stuff, we use PHP and Oracle databases. And for the communication between the front end and the back end, we use async task or GCD will be a good choice. And then for the security part, we will use a hash algorithm to encrypt the client data and information, which is really important because we have a login page and registration page, and we need to secure the information of our clients using hash algorithms. And the Oracle database have advantages. It's like an industry standard database, and Python is really flexible as well.
The risk of Plan A. We are using MySQL database management system, and is known for the most popular vulnerable SQL injection. No relative experience in implementing a high-level JavaScript code, and the possibility that MySQL database can't handle check your card demands. The risk of Plan B, the low reliability and support for Python front-end development, no experience dealing with the Oracle database management system, and using MD5 encryption is a very volatile encryption with its no weakness against of the brute force attack. Merging the two plans, it could be possible if check your card companies are bigger than we expected, and they need a very large-scale deployment database. We are forced to use Oracle database. That will be the best way to deal with it.
I'm gonna talk about the security issues and solutions that our website will encounter. The first issue is website background data. The specific content includes the login address, login account, and password protection of the website backend, which we plan to use HMAC to store sensitive user information like passwords, card numbers, and other information. After building the website, we need to back up the published data. Once there is a problem with the website, we can restore the data to ensure the normal operation of the website. Otherwise, once encountering a security problem, the website will crash. The second issue is website scripting language technology. Scripting language can bring volatility to page design in website construction, but it also brings a series of security problems. If some users enter some destructive script code through forms, then the website will have security problems. We will adopt 3 methods of encoding the characters of the dynamic page, filtering all input data, and restricting and encoding all input data to deal with these security issues. The last one is security issues of website server software. Generally speaking, the server software is a page transmission in response to HTTP requests. In fact, the server software itself has no risks. The main purpose of its extensions is to better support services and meet other needs. For this issue, we mainly need to deal with the security issue caused by the software and use the software functions with caution.
Lastly, our recommendation for other groups is to plan a fixed date and a fixed time for meetings to get all the members to meet at the same time and the same day every week or every 2 weeks, mainly because it's become in your routine, because it's really frustration for other team members if a member can't join the meeting. And then the second recommendation is to use popular ways for technologies in the front end and the back end, mainly because the community support and online resources will be available for you for like any question already will be asked, and if you have any difficulties in implementing a front end in JavaScript or a back end in MySQL, it will be easier for you to search that problem online because it's widely used in the world. So yeah, that's the second recommendation for other groups. And yeah, that's our presentation. This was Mo, and I hope you like our work, and see you guys later. Thank you.